I was playing out the scenarios in my head as you were speaking of this future where there's almost these two species of human. You have one species of human who are connected to the information highway through the internet, through the neural link in their brain. That's just like they're hooked.
Yeah.
And the algorithm is feeding them information and they're acting upon it and they're feeding it. And then you have this other group of people who decided to reject that, who didn't get the neural link, who aren't trying to interface with AI, and that are living in a tribe in some jungle somewhere. And I like, my girlfriend said this to me many years ago. I think there's going to be a split.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, whatever. But now I'm like, I can see why, as things get more extreme, you just go, do you know what? I'm going to make a decision here. And especially when I saw the Neuralink that Elon Musk's working on that allows you to control computers with your brain, I sat around with
the computer to control your brain also.
It goes both ways. You're right. I actually didn't think about that. But I just imagined, and this is a question for everyone listening, if there's you and me, and I have the chip in my brain that now humans have in their brain that they're using to control computers with, I am a different species to you because I can control my car downstairs. I can control the lights in this room. I can ask my brain questions and get the answers. My IQ becomes 5,000. Yours is still 150 or 200. Yours is probably 250. But I'm a different species to you. I have such a huge competitive advantage over you that if you don't get the chip, then you're screwed.
That's speciation.
Yeah.
Again, on a small scale, we saw it before in history. There were the people who adopted the written document and the people who rejected it.
Right.
And they are not with us anymore. Because the people who adopted the written document, they built these kingdoms and empires and they conquered everybody else. And we are in danger of the same thing happening. And this is not a good thing because it's not like life was better for the people with the documents. In many cases, life was better for the hunter-gatherers who lived before.
So what's the solution? If I had to, having read your book, brilliant book, Nexus, A Brief History of Information Networks from the Stone Age to AI, what is the solution? How do we stop the alignment problems, us all becoming paper clips, the social chaos, the misinformation, the silicon curtain, as you talk about in the book? How do we stop these things destroying our world? Is there hope? Are you optimistic?
I mean, the key is cooperation, is connection between humans. I mean, the humans are still more powerful than the AIs. The problem is that we are divided against each other, and the algorithms unintentionally are increasing the divide. Again, this is the oldest rule of every empire is divide and rule. This was the rule of the Romans, of the British Empire. If you want to rule a place, you divide the people of that place against one another, and then it's easy to manipulate and control them. This is now happening to the entire human species with AI. That just as we had kind of, the Iron Curtain in the Cold War, now we have the Silicon Curtain, dividing not just China from the US, but also Democrats from Republicans, also one person from another person, and all of us from the AIs, which increasingly make the decisions about all that. We still have the power for, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to make sure it doesn't go in dystopian direction. But for that, we need to cooperate.
Are you optimistic?
I try to be a realist. I mean, I just came from Israel and I saw a country destroying itself for no good reason whatsoever. It's a country that just pressed the self-destruct button, and for no good reason. And it can happen on a global scale.
What do you mean it pressed the self-destruct button?
It's not just the war between Israelis and Palestinians, but Israeli society turning against itself, greater and greater division and animosity. And it's like a dark hole of anger and of violence, which is sucking more and more people in. All over the world, you now feel the shockwaves from this dark hole in the Middle East. And there is no good reason. There is no objective reason. If I'll say something about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, there is no objective reason for it. It's not like there is not enough land between the Mediterranean and the Jordan River that people have to fight for the little land there is, or that there is not enough food. There is enough food for everyone to eat. There is enough land to build houses and hospitals and schools for everyone. Why do people fight? Because of different stories in their minds. They have these different mythologies that God gave this whole place just to us. You have no right to be here. And they fight over that. And this is a local or regional tragedy. It can happen on a global scale. Again, if something ultimately destroys us, it will be our own delusions, not the AIs. The AIs, they get their opening because of our weaknesses, because of our delusions.
Yuval, thank you so much for writing a book. I think this book is